The Tag Rugby Trust of UK exists to help improve the lives of children through sport. It is based on charity and their values are many. Respect is one of them, teamwork, creating friendship, breaking down social and geographical barriers, cooperation between different communities, and skill discovery. The Tag Rugby Trust has been working in Zambia since 2006, introducing Tag Rugby as a new game to the local communities, covering the Copper Belt, Lusaka, and Kafue. In July 2013, 4 schools were involved, namely Maramba, Libuyu, Maria Sumpta, and the Mauru Primary School as Tag Rugby Pioneer Schools in Livingstone.
It was last year when Trevor and the colleagues came through the district education office, and that's how we got in touch and we got interested that we could work together. I've been here for 3 years as a head teacher for this school. This is the first team that has come to work with us as cooperating partners.
They all want to come with us. They want to stick with the real good coaches.
They came to our school and they said, no, we needed young leaders. And that time I was in grade 10, my year 10. And then we were 5 of us from our school. But there was a challenge because the trainings were happening in the afternoon, and that's when we were having our classes. So my friend said, no, we cannot go on because when you miss grade 10 lessons, it means there's a possibility that your last year you won't pass. I also tried to stop, but my parents encouraged me, told me, no, just soldier on. I thought, this won't be done once because it was the first time they were coming to our school. Afterwards, the kids started troubling me. Madam, want to play the game again? Madam, want to play the game again? I told them, I don't have any idea about this game. I went into the market, I got 1 whistle, and the school helped us with 2 football balls. We never had any tags. We started doing the trainings every Friday in the afternoon. The little knowledge I had about the game, although some other rules I never knew them. Then Trev said, oh, we have seen potential here. I said, me? Which potential? That time when we were doing trainings. And then that's how he told me, okay, we'll try to do some lessons for you to become a young leader. That's how I said, okay, we'll make up a program. Every Saturday, I'll be coming to pick the kids from your school. And now I had almost 100 and something kids behind me, and I was like, oh, I want to do this job. And I looked for people who can help me. Those are young leaders. I said from each school, if they can give me 3, I can be able to train them as young leaders so at least we can have a big number of young leaders. So we used to have at least 100 and something kids with 20 tags. I approached him and I told him we need some kit, but there was not enough kit. He only left us with 2 balls and 20 tags. And then when they came back this year, I told them, oh, this is the challenge we are facing, this and this. And they said, okay, we'll see what we'll do. Like last week, we had a tournament with the teachers from Hesmia, and they left us with some kit. That's 7 balls altogether and 50 tags. I said, oh, wow, this whole thing is now growing.
Will, she runs anywhere. I support tag. Luindi, nice. Tag. Luindi, boom. Okay? So pass, support.
I was born in Zambia, and it's the second time I've been back since I was born. I came here 2 years ago with my family, and we actually went to the lower Zambezi on some safari, which was fantastic. I first became interested in getting on board of this tour and working with Tag Rugby Trust through, I guess, my experience 2 years ago with my own family. I actually was with someone staying at their lodge, and they said, come and do a coaching clinic. And there's this huge amount of enthusiasm. There's a bit of an expat community, so there was an appetite for it.
In Australia, we get a lot of exposure to the game, so kids have a sense of the game, whereas here you're starting from scratch. But the actual raw energy and the enthusiasm and the way they approach it, I think in a very short time you could improve them, a hell of a lot.
Team! 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 They are really interested because it's a newly introduced sport in the school curriculum, because in the school curriculum we only have rugby. We don't have tag rugby for the smaller ones, and rugby is only played in the secondary schools. The original rugby, I think, is slightly rough. This other one at least is accommodative.
There's a huge contrast in how things are in Zambia compared to what you're used to back home. Obviously the conditions and the facilities, but also just the raw talent. A lot of these children and I guess males and females have never played rugby before, have just been introduced to it, but they've still got incredible skill sets and they've still got a really good understanding of what games are all about and how to find space, and they like to win. The challenges of coaching in Zambia are probably just the fact that a lot of the kids have never played the game before. So teaching the fundamentals or the basics of the game is probably the biggest learning that you need to pass on to the kids.
A lot of people are visual learners, and I think it's no different with kids. And we've done coaching sort of all around the world with different language barriers. If you demonstrate and the visual side of it, most of them get the hang of it. Yeah.
Ready? Go! Forward! March, together line.
First 3 days of coaching is really about, firstly, mass involvement, so getting all the kids involved and real experience in the sport. But then from our point of view, starting to identify and break down teams within each of the schools that they can play each other, so they spend plenty of time playing each other. And then by the end of the 3rd day, we've broken down the ability to actually select a team for that school to then go and play other schools, which will be the last day, the 4th day, which is the tournament day.
To get here, we have to go to here. This is Australia over here.
Government schools, these are schools which are funded by the government. The salary of the teachers are paid by the government, and a community school, children are only asked to pay a little amount of money. Maybe I would say like in Lusaka, all community schools, children pay only 50 kwacha per term. And that 50 kwacha, 10% will pay the 50 kwacha, 90% won't pay because their parents will come, no, we don't have money because of their wages and salaries. Not all the people who have got individual houses or their own houses. You find they are renting, you find the rent, when the person pays the rent, from the 100% he has of his salary, he will only remain maybe with a 10%. You find other kids, instead of having 3 or 4 meals a day, they'll have 1 meal a day, and that's on lunch. So when they come to school, you find this kid, he's in class, he's just sleeping. You try to ask this kid, why are you sleeping? You tell, teacher, I never ate since yesterday. Last year, I remember at our school, they planted a garden, and it really helped us because we have got a feeding program for the vulnerable kids and those who are on art. So if these people come from all the way from London, Australia, and plant a garden at a certain school, it will really help. It means kids at least will be able to have 2 meals a day. If they have 1 meal at school and the other meal at home, it will really work out.
When they came last year, they helped us painting 1 classroom, and they gave us a little bit of material for teaching grade 1s. And for us, we appreciated it because they helped us actually establish even part of the floor on the classroom that they worked on. This year, we have another team that I come from Australia, partly also from UK with Trevor. This time again, they are painting another classroom and they're replacing a chalkboard, not a classroom which was broken. So they're putting a new one and they're also painting the whole classroom.
They also brought books, toys for the kids to play. Because with the new curriculum, we have been taught grade 1s need to learn with toys. That will help them to develop. Now you find at other schools, mostly community and government schools, there's nothing like toys. We don't normally see them, but when these things come, children are able to learn. And from these games, children are learning something like, I'll give an example, Scrabble. Children learn how to write spellings.
I now declare the tournament open. Thank you.
I think from a tag rugby perspective, it's a great introduction, and the kids sort of are learning what is a complicated game, rugby, but that breaks it down quite nicely. It's enjoyable, it's fun, there's lots of movement. The biggest challenges for the team this week, I think, was probably learning the game and understanding, particularly they come from watching and playing football in this country. They were the African champions a couple of years ago, so the whole idea of moving the ball in any direction with your foot is something they think must be the same with something like rugby. It's a different shaped ball, so getting that concept of passing the ball backwards to run forward is difficult and challenging, but they got there.
They have to support each other in the game, and we taught them tag rugby is all about support. You cannot play the game alone, you have to support each other. When yesterday we went to paint, a certain kid was like, madam, we were playing this game yesterday at home. So I was like, oh, this game it has been developed that kids can even play on their own at home.
To his own team. Did they understand that?
I think we had a number of the leaders from different schools here who hopefully will be inspired to maybe participate in a coaching capacity and organising maybe more tournaments, more training, and that just keeps it consistent for all the kids who've just been introduced to the game.
Quite some months ago now, and I've been interested in this game. Now I couldn't find anywhere to play. I was just called by a friend of mine. Yeah, he said, no, just come now. There are some guys from Australia who are coming introducing rugby. Then, oh, this is my opportunity. Let me go and join them. That's how I came here.
Since it's a game I'm also interested in, I've made sure that when we have CTS, which is Creative and Technology Studies, where we have a component of sports, I emphasize and teach them how to play tag rugby. And most of the people have even come on board.
I'm developing skills because we learn from each other. So when this person says, oh, let's try it and do this way, like on the organization of the tournament, the way we do it in Lusaka, that's not the way we have done it here in Livingstone. So hoping when I get home, I'll be able to use these skills I've learned here, that side.
I think I've improved as a coach, and I know at my school we'll be able to spread it in our zone and we'll be able to do well in the next tournament. And we are hoping that we'll continue training because we are told the balls and the other kits that you brought along, they will leave it with us and we'll be able to use it as we train.
I think this game will be extended to other zones and other schools within the district because we are inviting even district officials to come and see how the game is played, especially during the day of the tournament.
This keeps them fit, keeps them healthy, and everyone is okay. As you can see, others are going to school when they find their friends playing. They want to join there and then sort of going for classes. So everyone is interested.
It doesn't make some children to go out in the compound doing some bad things. At least it makes them busy here and coming here. It makes a difference in the compound.
This year there are more girls that are interested in the game, and I've really seen a skill in them where they can show their speed and the skill even in catching of the ball.
The raw energy and enthusiasm I said is just fantastic.
When you train these kids, today they are playing this tag rugby. 5 years, 10 years from now, they'll play the contact rugby. Afterwards, they'll be the champion of the world. Really appreciate. Yeah.
I think we can make a difference and actually use rugby as the vehicle to make that difference.
Thank you, Tag Rugby Trust. Very cool. Come and join us.